Hi, this is George O'Brien again. I just wanted to add a few comments about the kit building. From the way I understand it and what I've seen on the internet, a lot of these kits take around 45 hours to build. At least that's what it said on one of the specs on the internet. And it was a fairly typical one, not very that big. And I'd have to leave the setup up and, set up on the table in the dining room area for, weeks, and there's just no room for that. That would be disrespectful to my wife. There's really no other place for her to work and set up her computer for her job and everything. And from what I've seen, you have to have the parts pinned down to a sheet, some kind of a sheet, a board, and I don't know if you could move the whole board. Where would they put it under the bed? I mean, just doesn't seem practical to try to work on it without a workshop and to buy all the supplies and tools and everything. And I don't know how to make the modification from free flight model to RC, because I can't see any. I'm not sure if there's any kits that are made for RC nowadays. The feedback I'm getting from the hobby store owners is that you got the Gilo type kits, which are made for free flight, and if you want to convert them to RC or U-Control, whatever you call it, you have to make a special modification, a custom modification to the tail feathers, to the rudder and elevator, or maybe even out of ailerons. And not knowing how to do that, or I didn't be able to find any videos that make it clear either, but maybe it's no big deal, but maybe I'm focused on that too much, but it's a hindrance, because even though the kits are around $30 or $34, to buy a $34 kit and all the supplies and everything and the tools, and then botch up the tail feathers because of the shaky hands or not having the right tools or not knowing where to make the cuts in the wood, it seems like a waste and very impractical. But even if I could get around that, I guess I could get a piece of ceiling tile, I guess what they call it, and use the common pins to pin down the parts to the ceiling tile, and then when my wife has to use the table, I could take the whole thing down and put it under the bed in the bedroom. Maybe that's something I could do. I don't know where to get the ceiling tile, but if I want to push my imagination to the utmost, maybe there's a way of doing it, but it just doesn't seem very practical, especially with the Parkinsons, not knowing how I'd even put the parts together or do the delicate work. I could build a robot that would do it. I could program the robot to do it, like a medical robot, but that's a whole can of worms I'd rather not get into. I don't think my hands are steady enough, even though it looks so steady on the videos. They really aren't at times like that when I'm building things. And that in itself, even if I could find a place to work, that in itself is a big hindrance. So I'm not trying to cop out or anything. I just think it's not something I want to take on. And I really don't mean to make excuses. I just really dread the thought of trying to build a model, and I have enough trouble flying the ready-to-fly ones. That gives me enough grief. But, I always try to go all the way with things, went all the way with engineering. I didn't get a master's degree. I started taking courses towards a master's, but the teacher didn't like me and he gave me a bad grade. So people said if I got a B that early in the curriculum, I should hang it up because they're not going to make it through the whole curriculum. And I listened to those people. I tried to join the Air Force, but I don't know if I would have gone through with it if I could have, but I was on medication, so they probably wouldn't have let me in. But I was so ill at the time that I didn't feel up to it anyway, so I ended up in the hospital. And what else didn't I go all the way with? I tried to be a jazz guitarist. I went as far as I could with that, but I played live in the band, a volunteer band, a couple of them, but I made recordings of my own, but I never really went professional. I just wasn't good enough. I didn't play well enough. But these are things that I didn't really want to do, but I felt like I had to try my hardest to do difficult things for the sake of doing difficult things and not for the sake of enjoying them, which is a better reason to do things. But so that's my thoughts on the model building. I want to just relax and work on my exercise and fly at my leisure and not when I feel like I have to, and play the guitar in a relaxed way. I'm going to keep playing with Al, the bass player, but I don't want to obsess about it or anything. So anyway, I'll let you free up. I'll let you get back to what you were doing. I hope you have a good day. Talk to you next time. Bye.